Welcome to Take Another Look with Gerda Felix and Melanie Taddeo Malo with a genuine conversation about what's missing from the human connection. Let's join Melanie and Gerda now.
Good day and welcome to another episode of Take Another Look podcast, where we have uncomfortable conversations and we are here to listen and hear you just as you are. You're fully accepted here in our space. I'm your host, Melanie Taddeo Malo, and joined by my beautiful co-host,
Gerda Felix.
Hey Gerda, how are you?
I am well. How are you, Melanie?
Fantastic. Thanks so much. I am so excited about this conversation, Gerda. This has been something I've been really looking at recently, and I want to hear your perspective on it. And of course, I want to hear our audience's perspective on it too. So I encourage everybody to please comment, share your thoughts and your ideas. So today we're going to talk about sight versus vision. So yes, we all have eyesight. Well, not all of us, but most of us have eyesight, things that we can see with our eyes. And then vision, the mental image or idea that we have inside our brain. Gerda, what are your thoughts on sight versus vision?
Whew, what a question. Okay. Sight. Sight is what you can see in the physical realm. So for example, my eyes allow me to see what's in front of me. So that's in the physical. Vision is what you can see in the spiritual realm, meaning that it's not, you can't touch it. And because you can't touch it, I feel that sight is perhaps a little bit limited, as vision is so open. What do you think?
Well, you know, it's interesting because, of course, we all depend on sight. As a child, that's how we learn our colors. That's how we see what items are. We see the people in our lives. We can read. There's so many things. But what we don't realize is that along with sight is our perception and our judgment that comes along with it. So it wasn't until I lost my eyesight that I noticed the difference between sight and vision. For me, it was the end of the world. Of course, I can't see anymore. What am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to do all the things that require eyesight. But all of a sudden, this whole other world opened up to me. Now, I'm not saying I didn't have vision before, because I'm sure I had vision, but I wasn't aware of the possibilities and how it could change your life, impact your life, and make you push your limits. Because again, you're only focused on what you can see versus what you can feel, think, and create with vision.
Can you take us through what happened? I mean, what happened when you lost your sight and you gain your vision? What? Because I cannot imagine, because I don't know, but I would like you, if it's okay, for you to take us through what happened.
Okay, so what we bring us to understand is I was studying visual art at university when I lost my eyesight. So everything I was doing, my livelihood doing art, was visual. With my eyesight, I had to see the colors I was using, the canvas, the sculpture, whatever medium I was using. I was dependent on my eyesight. So not only did I have to learn how to get around, but now I had to re-alter what I was going to do. Now, I'm not saying that I couldn't have done art continuously, because of course there are many blind artists that are very successful and so talented. But for me, I saw it as a blockage. And I had to get past that. I had to get past a lot of things before I became aware of vision. That stumbling block, I think we've talked about this so many times, about accepting what is happening and really going through those stages of grief to get to that point of acceptance for myself. Once I became comfortable with the fact that I was going to be blind or visually impaired, and this is the eyesight that I had to deal with, I needed to start moving forward and starting to do things differently. And that's exciting. And that's a learning process. Frustrating at times, I'll tell you, to be honest. But when I started to create projects, developing programs, seeing opportunities for me to use the skill sets I had with teaching, with art, with other aspects, I was able to create some beautiful things by using my mental imagery, my vision inside instead of what I saw. And I became aware of how biased I had been when I had eyesight. I would judge artwork based on what I saw, not looking at what the artist's vision of what they were creating was. And I was limiting myself on truly appreciating that art. Now that's a huge step for somebody in the art world.
Yes.
Because
yes.
what an artist has in their mind to create isn't what I'm going to see on that canvas necessarily. So I couldn't believe how limiting my eyesight had been. When I met someone and I saw how they were dressed, or perhaps how they looked, I was judging, like, damn, he looks good, or they shouldn't wear that outfit. Without understanding who they were as a person. When I realized how limited I had been, it opened up my vision even more. So then I had to understand what was possible with vision. Now, of course, because I was so limited before, I was afraid of pushing those limits. But when I started to just journal and look at different things from different perspectives, what I wrote down was all these possibilities, but how to utilize them to create a vision and to bring that vision to life was a whole other journey. But that's kind of for me. But let's go to you, Garrett. I want to understand what steps you take for vision, because I know you have so many visions and you bring them to life, and that's amazing.
First of all, I think I'm always in La La Land.
That's the creation stage, my friend.
No, seriously. That's why I so understand what you just said. Because vision, there is nothing stops us. When I am in vision, nothing stops. I was saying something not too long ago, and somebody said that I dream like a child, because my face lit up and I was so happy describing how things was going to be. And this person just looked at me, shook his head and said, "You dream like a child." But that's the thing for me, vision, it takes me from the invisible, which is way open, and I can do whatever I want in it. And to make that happen, when I have a dream, I have dreams, I have vision, to make my vision come to life, I love the steps. And because of that vision, I don't stop until I get there. That's what it is for me, because I know it's possible.
Yes, absolutely. Give us an example of something you created, a vision you created, and what steps did you take to bring it to life?
Okay, I'm going to talk. Well, there's so many. Okay, there are so many. I will give the example about Resonance of Stars. But there is so many. So let me say one thing. So and it's not about Resonance of Stars. When my nieces and my nephews, they were little, and they're friends. So from 4 to 8 years old, and there were 7 of them. It was Christmas, and I said, let's tell the story of Christmas, but each and every one of them will do a part. So who wants to be Jesus? Who wants to be Mary? Who wants to be, remember, now you're working with children from 4 to 8 years old. And I said, okay, we have 2 months to put this together. So all of you are little stars. And every week you will come here and we will do our part and we will practice. And that's what we've done. Because in my mind, I knew I am going to treat them as stars. What did I do? They were the people that I work with. And of course, I work with the parents because the parents had to bring them to my house every Saturday. We work in making sure that the play was going to be a success. I had to talk to my sister so that she could change her house, decorate it in the way that it would make it, you know, like a place where you have a play. And the grandparents, the parents, they came and they sat where they sat at, you know, almost like in the mezzanine. I said, this will be the mezzanine and the children will be here, you know, to do the play. But before that, the vision was also, they are little stars. So how do we treat little stars? I rented the limousine for them. A limousine came and picked them up. And we did the tour for an hour. We went with the limousine, we traveled. And then when we came back to where they were going to have the play, the red carpet, in my mind. So this is, in my mind, this is the way thing works. And the children, and I think one of my friends said, you have to understand what you did for them, because this was always the top until I think one of them, she was probably 15 and she went skiing with her father. And she said, that was the best after what we experienced with Auntie Gerda, because that's the way they call it, with Auntie. That was the best. And she said, you have to understand, from 7, 8 years old until 15, that's what they had. What you created with them, that was the big stuff you created. So for me, I do things and I dream. I dream, and then I make it come to life. Resonance of stars. Can we talk about that?
Oh, yes, go for it.
So Resonance of Stars, I saw, and I had seen Oprah's 3 days extravaganza. So she had, one day she did a luncheon, afternoon luncheon for the women. And they had a poem that all the younger stars said for the older stars. And I thought it was, and I saw it on YouTube and I thought it was wonderful. And then on the Saturday, they had the big gala where everybody wear their beautiful dress. And then on Sunday, it felt like they had, well, it was at the brunch, but felt like they had church on the lawn where people come and sing and so on. So I saw this and I knew I love it. So when you did your project and you asked, well, I want to make it big. I want to have something big. I want you to push my boundaries. So that I always remember when you said that. I want you to push my boundaries. I said, are you sure you want to do that?
And this is when we first met too. Yes. We didn't know each other, how we operated.
That is true. And then I said, well, I can take this on. She said, yes.
Go for it, yeah.
And in my mind, I was thinking, okay, this was a gold mine because I don't have Oprah's money. We were on Zoom.
Yes.
How to take 3 days and put it into 3 hours so that people can be excited to be part of this project and enjoy it and be in it. So of course, we put a team together. We met every week. We work towards the vision. And from time to time, I would just send video and say, this is the intention. This is so that people understand more and more. You know what surprised me the most in terms of this?
What?
That for 3 hours, the ladies changed every hour because we made it something that was out of this world.
Yes, it was incredible. I'll never forget. It was so exciting. And this actually segues really nice into something that I want to discuss. So communicating your vision, because not everybody looks at things like a dream and they don't see that big. They don't think that big. So how did you communicate effectively what you were wanting to happen?
This is still a challenge. It's funny that I laugh when I have to answer a question, because again, in my mind, it is still a challenge in the sense that we were not taught to dream.
Mm.
And because of that, when you take someone, even taking people through visualization, they're blocked. And so how do I share the big vision that I have in my mind to most people who were not taught to dream? And I have to make it as simple as possible. So the big dream, I have to make it smaller, in the sense that, really, guys, the only thing we're doing, although we want to do this, we want to do it on 3 different time zones, 3 different time zones. But really what we are doing, we all at the same time, we are going to be there. Okay, this is simple. We're doing it in 3 hours. First hour, this is it. So you have to make it simple. You have to make it easy. You have to share it in the other's language meaning how they will understand you, so that they don't get too overwhelmed. Because me, in my vision, I'm happy. I'm happy in the vision that I have.
Absolutely. And what I found really interesting, Gerda, like you and I, we think big. That's just who we are, right? So when you would tell me, I was like, okay. And then you take me through it with visualization or whatever. I'm like, oh, yes, okay, I've got it. Whereas there's other people that, like you said, weren't able to do that. And when we broke it down for them, it was easier for them to digest. So again, I guess knowing who you're sharing your vision with, because we have visions in so many areas, even at work, you have a vision, like my charity has a vision, and it's a long-term plan. It's not something that's going to happen necessarily overnight, but you have to start somewhere. I think of Walt Disney. He had a vision to create the happiest place in the world, right?
Yes.
How many times have people told you're crazy, you're thinking too big, or you're never going to accomplish that? All those negative thoughts to people who are quote unquote dreamers or visionaries.
Yeah. And that's why I don't talk to non-vision. No, but
I get it.
that's I try to stay away from people who are my joy killers.
Yes.
Try to stay away, because then I would feel like I'm in the small box, which I don't want to be there. And this is the issue. The issue for me is to be around people who are going to understand. And if they don't understand, they are at least going to be open. I don't talk to most people about my vision because, again, unconscious bias, maybe.
Yes.
I came from a family where I've heard, do not talk about your dream for fear that the wind will take it away.
Yes.
Okay, so, and I'm saying that so that you understand where I'm coming from. So I'm not someone who talk to people about my vision, because again, the wind could be their negative opinions. The win could be because they are not seeing it. And it took a while for me to understand this. Okay, you cannot talk to people about your dream, your vision. Don't talk to everybody about it, because it's not their vision, so they won't understand it.
Yes.
It's not theirs. And you don't want to be stopped in and I believe what God has put in me, because it's a gift and it's a talent. It's a gift that I have. I want to have more platforms for me to be able to unfold this gift and talent.
The Gerda experience, everybody, you have to check it out. Honestly, the things that you create, Gerda, with your vision, it's incredible. And I think everybody needs to experience it at least once. So I encourage you all to check out the work that she does.
Well, thank you, Melanie. And I have to say this. I am very thankful that I can talk to you about the vision, and I don't feel like I have to take 1,000 steps for you to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And again, this is another thing that okay, because we know that we have different ways to work.
Mhm.
You are very, this is step. For example, with the blogs, Melanie
Yes.
has written all the blogs. Gelda is still on blog number 2. So
You started it though.
okay, Melanie is very, and I need someone like this as I'm learning from you, okay? Because for me, it's like, it's in my head, oh, poof, I can make it happen, okay? But having a plan to make sure that I have different steps that brings, a level, it's calm. It makes me calm for that reason.
Yeah.
But that's what I say. For me, it is very important for you to know that.
Thank you.
We're able to collaborate because
Yes.
we are able to understand each other's vision.
And that's exactly it, because not everybody can.
No.
And I know vision boards have become a very big thing for entrepreneurs, for even businesses and managers to use with their team. Vision boards I totally get, and I understand the purpose of them. And I've seen some pretty amazing ones. They've got pictures, they've got creative stuff, really amazing. How do you do your vision boards, or do you do it on paper? Like, what do you do?
In my life, I have done 2 vision boards. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. 2 vision boards. And for me, what works best, and I'm not saying vision boards are not good, because I do, when I go and look, I can put things on, but I've done it twice. What works best for me is writing down at the beginning of the year a list of things I want to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And then I forget about it.
And Melanie reminds you, Gary, remember you said this?
No, and not only that, I forget about it. Mm-hmm. And then this is the beauty for me. I wrote it down and then I just close it. I don't even think about it too much, but this is what I can tell you. It will come. They always come in the physical. At the end of the year, I go back. So when I say I don't think about it, I probably looked at them for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times during the year. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the year, I will tell you, I have at least 70% of them that's already that's done.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because it's in your head.
Right? And this is the miracle.
Yeah.
This is, for me, this is what the miracle is. I said one time I wanted to learn how to ice skate. I said, I want to learn how to ice skate. That's one of the lists on my list. Mm-hmm. I forgot about it. And then one Friday I was at work and the girl said, we're going ice skating tonight. Would you like to come with us? I said, I don't have skates. Well, what size do you wear? And I told them, well, my brother has a pair, come with us. And then, you'll learn. Did I look for that? No, I didn't.
Just came your way.
It came to me. And for me, that's the way life is. And that's why there's an image, and I'll share that image. And again, that's the vision, okay? There's an image for me that always stays. When I am in creation mode, and I've done this exercise not too long with one of my coaches, mm-hmm. and it was powerful. In the movie Avatar, when he first come to his avatar state, he's being chased and so on. And then so at night, he stood there, and all the little, I call them butterflies, but they are more than butterflies, all like light. They're all light little butterfly-like things. They all came to him. And at first he started to shoo them away. And Princess Neytiri said to him, no, don't move. And they all came to him, all came to him. Well, for me, a vision is like that. I just need to stand, open my hands, close my eyes, and let everything that I'm dreaming come to me.
That's a beautiful image.
And that's the way life works best for me.
That's incredible.
What about you, Melanie?
For me, I've never done a vision board ever, and I have to do one this year as part of the journey, the pathways journey I'm on. But I map it out on paper. That's how I do it. And for me, as you mentioned, I'm very goal oriented. Okay, I have to do this step, check, 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 and that's how I get things done. For me, I want to try a vision board. I really want to see if that works differently. But I know, like, I have a number of things that I want to accomplish this year. This is my year of transformations for so many areas, and I'm very excited about it. I have, my business, I have the charity, I have, all these different things, and I'm doing at once, but that's how my mind works, because I have vision for different areas. And if I leave one area for a while, I feel this pull for me, remember. So I know it's all there. Sometimes it gets pushed aside, but it always calls out and brings me back.
And Melanie, what you were just saying, that you have to do a vision board for the UPath, visionary communication. I had to do that too. And because I have seen you remember when we went to the paint night?
Yes.
When we had paint night?
Yes.
Because I saw your painting that night.
Yes, sorry. For those in the audience, this is a very pathetic version of
no, but here is what you are not understanding, and I need to make you understand this. When I saw you painting that night, that was a painting for me that looked so out of this world. I kept thinking how something so big could fit into that little canvas that we had. In my mind, you painting left something that is, wow, wide open. And it was so beautiful, the colors. And it's funny to say, because anybody who knows, when you go to paint night, you have the same colors, we'd mix the same things, we hear the same instructions, and we have to do. And the way you painting show, the way, I was mind blown. And so if you're doing your vision board, please incorporate those kind of things in it.
Okay, I will definitely do. That's awesome feedback. So I encourage, this is what ties nicely back to the sight versus vision, because clearly, guys, I couldn't see the picture we were painting. They described it to me and they told me what color was what, but clearly it was done all vision rather than eyesight. So let's tie that back, Gerda. So in what aspect of your life do you find that sight plays a bigger role than vision, or will vision always triumph?
Relationship, like male, female relationship. Because this is what it feels to me. And that's why, it feels like I dream and then it appears. And then for some reason, it's like the dream is too big and it just vanished. And I don't know if it's because of my fear, okay? Because that could be it, because of my fear. I dream something that's been extraordinary and then it happens. And because of my fear, little by little, it starts to get diminished.
Interesting.
And it's interesting because I'm getting all this right now. You have to understand, this is not something I'm thinking about.
I love these conversations.
That's the way it feels. It feels like, yeah. So vision is what I enjoy, and that's what brings things to me. Sight, it's what blocks me in a way.
Interesting. I'm just going to share this scenario really quickly. Yesterday at Toastmasters, another gentleman who's blind in my club did a speech on what it's like to be blind. And he asked his evaluator to wear a blindfold for the entire speech and evaluation.
Ooh.
It was incredible, Gerda. Oh my gosh.
I bet.
And it was so powerful because this individual, he was so willing to do it and he was excited to do it. But when he gave his evaluation, he's like, I'm so emotional right now. He said, I don't know how you and Melanie do this every day. He's like, I've only done it for half an hour. But the difference in his evaluation was so vast from his regular evaluations, because without sight, you observe, you hear, you sense so much more. And he encouraged everybody in the club for us to have a whole meeting like that. And I'm thinking, yes, because you open yourself up to visualizing what you're hearing. It's powerful. It's really powerful.
Love it. Can I steal that? I love,
Totally.
you have to understand, I love it. Because you see, that's what happened when we, well, you know, we do visualization, right?
Mhm.
When we do meditation,
Yes.
that's what happened. And the more you are able to sit, be with your senses, because as you have your eyes closed, okay,
Mhm.
the other senses are more, they are magnified,
Yes.
because you have one that you're not using, the other ones, because, and this is what I call to create the extra in the ordinary.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah, it's incredible. But you have to invite me when you do it because I need to observe. And I don't even need to
Wow.
be blindfold.
love it. And you see my vision is starting to get me.
Yes. Well, wait, because I have another idea. We'll talk after.
Okay. No. Wow.
Well, Gerda, people leave, the time is flown by, and thank you for this
It has.
conversation. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on another episode of Take Another Look podcast, where we have uncomfortable conversations. We go deep, Gerda, don't we?
We do.
And this was another great conversation. Please like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Facebook. Connect with us. We want to hear from you. Contact at takeanotherlookpodcast.com. Gerda, what would you like to offer our audience? Because you know what, let's leave something to take away. How can they, what can they get from us? What could they participate in? How could they work with us?
Well, you can, of course, contact us on different channels. You can contact us here on YouTube. You can contact us at takeanotherlookpodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can also contact us on Facebook. We have a page in the same name. And on Anchor, Spotify, Google
Podcast, yeah.
Yes, Apple Podcast. Thank you.
We would,
And we would like to have a conversation with you. So contact us so that we can connect to make this happen.
yes, definitely. We're also always looking for bloggers. People want to share their blogs. If you have something you've blogged about on one of our topics, we'd love to hear from you as well. So there's so many opportunities. Let's connect and let's have some uncomfortable conversations. Until next time, I'm Melanie and you're
Gerda Felix.
Go.
Bye for now.
Bye. See you next time.